I think we got so many egos in that dressing room. You got to choose your moment pretty carefully. I think he knows sometimes being the captain and being the talisman within the dressing room at times. You got to be careful how you thread in terms of the music. But Coley used to take some charge, and Nicky Butt kind of like so we used to try and get the right mixture in the dressing room, so you can hear a little bit of R&B, a little bit of Irish music, a little bit of Danish music, so a bit of everything, so everyone is a little bit happy. I'm not sure about that. I think Dennis Irwin will probably come across as the quiet and civilized one. Even though from a lad point of view, he's one of the best guys to hang around with. He just sits there and take it all in. But I would think out of all those lot there, I would think Dennis Irwin is the one who sort of stand out. That intellectually, he will sit there and read something a little bit more interested. And if you have to ask a question of high quality, Dennis is likely to maybe to get the answer, I think. I think everyone used to try and avoid Yap Stamp in my time. Simple reason, because he's not just only huge and look frightening to look at times, but he was fast and a proper defender, And I remember, because part of the whole thing, we used to play 1v1. So you take on defender and get your shot on, and often when Yap is coming up, everyone is looking around, and they used to say, "You are the most expensive player, come to the club, there you go, you have Yap." So Yap is the one that I would think that not too many other players wanted to come up 1v1 against. I think Scholesy, Paul Scholes. I think he was just sensational. What you see all these wonderful technique and wonderful exhibition goals that he have scored, and volley and things. Is things that he was doing in training equally. Very impressive, pinging the ball out, penalties, taking shots, anything. He was just an 8, 9 out of 10 every time. I think I gotta say my strike partner, Coley. Sometimes you see him training, go through, lackadaisical. I think he will probably confess. I think I've heard him confess that he's not the best of trainers, but come match day, he's lively as they come. He's ready to go. And I remember Sarah Regis in the time says to me, the worst trainer I've ever seen is Dean Saunders, I gotta say. But again, he's another one. When he comes to match, he's lively as they come. So some people are like that, and some people train as they play. So it's all down to individuality, I'm afraid. I think Roy Keane. I think he's the one that stand out in that dressing room, I suppose. In a game of cards, he wouldn't want to lose, even if it's a little bit of money. Five-a-side, he won't want to lose. It was just a born winner, in all fairness to him. People will, say what they like about Roy Keane, but at the end of the day, he was a born winner, and he won't take no or any nonsense off anyone unless he wins, even if it's for a fight. But trust me, he's the hardest man that you can ever find. He had a couple of those, I think, in my time. I think KICCA was one of them occasionally. I think the usual suspect. I think Scholesy and them mobbing them. Maybe Gary Neville a little bit, even though he used to get his little stick sometime. But that I think Giggsy was his favorite. I think, and I think the lads have picked up on it and give him some jibs a few times. I think Nicky Butt, believe it or not, as quiet as he may look, he was the one within the dressing room, always come up with something, trying a prank or two on players, stitching one and two players off in a funny manner. Great lad for the dressing room. And I think David May as well used to do some daft things, and you think, why? But he was just daft. That's what it is. I think Gary Neville for sure. He's just whinges and moans, and I've never seen anyone moan like him. I think Gary Neville, without a doubt, he's the biggest moaner we ever come across. You're just looking at him right here. I've worked hard to claim the number one spot, and I gotta say, not too many of them play golf. They all try to, and Kiggs is decent, Scosey. Now that we all retire, we all tend to play a little bit more golf. But right now, I think I'm the lowest handicapper. That means gives me the right to be number one.